It's only the Asians here represented today. No, HawK is here in the first semifinal, and Foggy, of course, in the second one. The only Chinese player to be making the top 4 is Romantic. And now, going up against HawK. A good old human mirror. Both of these guys are super strong in this matchup. HawK has stated for years and years that this is his best and favorite matchup. But Romantic has beaten all the greats before. Infi, TH, doesn't matter who. So this should be a human mirror on the very highest level. HawK, of course, is playing with a bit of a ping deficit, obviously. Playing from Moscow. He lives close to Moscow, right? As far as I remember. I think so. And Romantic in the motherland, the heartland of China. So, what are we seeing here to begin with? Is there anything wacky? We have been seeing quite a bit of MK first, actually, in this matchup more recently. Mostly on Echo Isles, but also sometimes on LR. But that is not the case here. Both are going for the standard AM into footies. Of course, we all know this matchup is a lot about breakers, most of the time. That is like one of the only metas that hasn't changed with the new patches, right? If we think about it. Like, even the mirrors have changed. Night Elf mirror changed the most. Orc mirror changed a little bit. Not very much. Undead mirror did change quite a lot. With Lich first, with Dreadlord first expansions and stuff. And kind of every matchup changed a little bit, but human mirror for the most part is still the same. Yeah, as I said, we do sometimes see MK first fast expo plays, but it's of course a little bit risky. Pressure from the AM can always be a big danger. Instead, you oftentimes want to go for that AM, go for the mercs, as HawK is doing right here. Romantic is not going for the big creep camp first, he's going for the small one. That means he only needs 4 peasants, 4 militia to creep this, whereas HawK needs at least 5, maybe even 6. Yeah, this is 6 militia right here. This effectively means it's going to be a lot lower lumber economy for HawK here for the early stages. So, Romantic might be taking faster because of this. And I'm surprised by this opening here by Romantic. Normally he's known to be playing on tier 1 for a long time. Heavy creeping, heavy emphasis on early game, on tier 1, delaying the tech in favor of that oftentimes. But Romantic is playing it a little bit differently here. Oh, okay. Goes back into the merc camp creep. Oh, that's interesting. So he needs to call the militia twice. And that may in fact end up being quite a late tech. So it's the same creep camps probably being taken by the two, but in a different order. This most importantly means that the first Shadow Priest being purchased by Romantic goes on cooldown later, which means HawK can go for 2 Shadow Priests much sooner than Romantic can, if he claims them both quickly. We're gonna have the Berserker here ready at 1900. Very important for all human and Night Elf players to know, especially because the Berserker in the early game is a big deal. Okay, so the creep out is actually differing. HawK now going for the Shadow Priest and is teching. No Berserker here. We have Romantic soon to be teching as well. And at the end of the day, it's not that big of a difference. How much is the human tech again? It's like 200? 210? Romantic went for the Berserker first, tech after, so the tech is a little bit behind. And HawK going for the Berserker here himself as well. AMs are both level 3 items, something I haven't talked about yet. Scourge Bone Chimes, very good early game for the footies. Later in the Breaker Wars, of course, gonna be rather useless. And now the 2 AMs looking to be aggressive towards the main. Good footy scout here by HawK, sees this early. May cost the footman his life. Nice block from Romantic, and first blood claimed. Thank you very much, by the way, to the Zephy for the 7 months, No Hero, Masuda for the 12-month resub, and Cruxy for the 19 months. Oh, Arcane Tower isn't done yet. Oh, that hurts for HawK. Uh-oh. That's a lot of damage. He's trying to do counter damage on the other side of the map, but this is costing a lot of militia time over here. Mining was disrupted for a little while, especially the lumber income here pretty low. Water Elemental is taken out, but the Arcane Tower on the other side is still standing. Double Water Elemental though, that's going to be too much damage. And who's going to blink first here is the question. Who is too afraid to suffer too much damage back at home and is going to be TPing back? A good old game of chicken, as we like to call it. And there's no mining going on either side. TP home is coming in. HawK needs to run away to make sure he's not getting surrounded and trapped in the main. He's a little bit slow with that, so the Berserker is trapped and is definitely going to die here from the looks of it, but might be able to find a return kill because Romantic's Berserker also very hurt. Level 4 here for HawK, sooner than it is for Romantic, but gets it very, very quickly as well. The two Berserkers fighting to the death! Oh, it's going to be a synchronized death. Oh, look at that. That was like a freaking choreography from NSYNC or something. Perfectly timed. So in the meantime, tier 2 is done. HawK's resources, though, not looking too great. Going for the MK before the Sanctums. And the TP being gone now is a big deal. At the end of the day, I was about to say it's not that big of a difference, but look at the supply, guys. 31 versus 19. That is a 50% higher supply for HawK. That's kind of insane. Chris Tricks, thank you very much for the 10-month resub. And the Sanctums are coming. This early game was outstanding for HawK. I don't really understand why. Arcane Tower was killed right away. Romantic was in the base earlier. The Scourge Bone Chimes were also pretty nice there for the footies. But somehow HawK made it work. Shadow Priest is going to be lost here. Romantic finds that kill. More experience for his AM. And on the AM, the experience lead is noticeable. It's not that big, but he is a little bit closer here to the level up. Baiting a Stormbolt, but MK has plenty of regen thanks to that juicy level 2 Brilliance Aura. So one Sanctum coming up here, and you can see now the pain of all these militia having been lost earlier. The lumber is very low for Romantic. He can't go for the second Sanctum for quite a while. So for the time being, Romantic is trying to distract with the AM as much as he can. Killing a few more peasants, delaying the shop for a little bit longer, and slowing down the creeping of the MK with decent success. MK might get level 2 here, but he's going to be quite hurt. Good play by Romantic. He's finding value. Oh boy! Is he going to get the last hit? He does! And the item. Oh my god. Perfect timing by Romantic. A little bit lucky how that worked out. MK had the Stormbolt there on cooldown. Otherwise, yeah, he could have been able to claim that. But good recovery, man. Romantic. He was in a very tough spot after that early game. But a couple of key moves, utilizing as one strong piece on the board, the AM. Kind of like a queen in chess. Perfectly to make sure he's still in the game. Two MKs battling now. And HawK is very low HP already. Has to swoop over to the other side to escape, but that's more kills. Dude, Romantic is turning this game around. Holy hell. Level 5 AM now. Crazy.
The player's forces are under attack.
And another one. Oh my god, he gets 2 priests. Suddenly HawK's in trouble. What the hell happened? What happened? It was just the AM harassing down here, cancelling the shop, forcing HawK's AM to return. Then the AM does the good old reach around, swoop, steals the item here, steals the experience. MK comes in. MK from HawK is too hurt because he took so much damage from the creeps, because the AM was distracted. So in the MK battle, Romantic has the upper hand. MK for HawK has to flee, and that gives him the big Stormbolt advantage to Romantic. And that gives him 2 priest kills. And with that, a big lead now in the mid game. And that is how every little bit of an advantage can snowball really hard in Warcraft. It's not just about kills, it's about experience, about items, about HP. The Mountain King hit points, that's what decided this little engagement in the middle. Pretty cool. And this is top level human mirror. Every little thing matters.
The player's
So at the end of the day, though, we're still at 37 supply versus 37. Priest numbers should be higher on Romantic. And they are by... not much, actually. But with the AM level 5, he's going to be continually harassing. Telestaff and Boots. I love that. And with the level 3 Watch Elementals, one Arcane Tower certainly isn't enough. And there's not even a single Arcane in the main. Again and again, this AM usage, absolutely outstanding. And so obnoxious for HawK to deal with. He doesn't want to be bothered by this nonsense. But he will be. And that is, of course, the proper play. It's a little bit risky. Tiny bit risky by Romantic if he's not paying attention for a moment. And the AM gets caught. Double Stormbolt into Surround, into Bash, cancelling the staff. Could be his downfall, but that's a low probability play, I guess. Level 3 MK now for HawK. Level almost 3 with a Mana Stone and a 1 of Mana Stealing. Amazing items here by Romantic. And HawK now wants to take a page out of his opponent's book. Going for the Water Elemental. Harass himself. Uh-oh. And walking straight into a Surround. It's going to cost him the TP here. 100%. Oh, the Bash comes in. That makes that easy. HawK has to TP right now. Before the Bolt comes in. Alright, there it is. And that was a TP being used for not much to be gained, honestly. There was some space for the MK, I guess, and finally HawK's main being not bothered anymore. Blacksmith is there, by the way, for HawK for upgrades. Same for Romantic, who's slightly ahead here. Alright, and we're gonna have the first big battle commencing in a moment. 4 breakers for Romantic. 5 for HawK, but he seems to be lower on the Priest, especially on the footies. Doesn't have any footies anymore. Of course, footies isn't really what you want in the late game. Alright, here we go. Did you see that by Romantic? He Stormbolts the Priest, has 2 breakers on him. That's enough. So only 2 breakers focus the Priest. They will find the kill, and the rest is staying further behind in a safer position, especially the Priest not exposing themselves. That was perfectly done, actually. The spells are coming in fast and heavy on both sides. MK here has to be a little bit careful. Priests are running all over the place. The front line is looking a little bit weird right now. Romantic has to be careful with his AM. He did rebuy the TP though. And one more breaker is gonna die here for HawK. Block coming in against the next one. Romantic was ready with that, and the Bash gets him the next kill. Romantic getting further and further ahead here the longer this game goes, apparently. Even some militia were called. Didn't really do much though at the end of the day. Numbers now heavily favoring Romantic. Up by 14 supply and a breaker mirror. That's a massive deal. Spell Steal is coming in. We saw that a lot from Romantic yesterday. 2 dispels into Spell Steal to steal the Watch Elementals, and we see it again here. But the Priest numbers are dwindling for HawK down to only 4, and they're very low mana now. It looks like Romantic doesn't have Spell Steal. Is he upgrading it maybe? It's only 75, 75, if I remember right. Not Spell Steal. What's it called? Control Magic. Right.
A player's forces are under attack.
Romantic going for the big red camp creep. Does have a new TP though to get out if it should be necessary, and I think it's necessary. Gets the Catgas pipe, but 1 priest will be lost. Romantic looking for the double kill, doesn't get that though. Nice read by Romantic. Was he expecting him up there? Yeah, absolutely was. Calling the militia. Getting the remainder of the cav. That's level 4 now for the MK. Level 2 Bash, not to be underestimated. That increases the chance from... Wait. I think it's 25, 35, 45? Is that right? I think it increases the chance. Or is it 15, 25, 35? I'm not quite sure. MK MK's inventory once again looking pretty good. And here we go once more. AM harass into the main. We've seen this over and over being so effective. HawK once again being annoyed by this gosh darn AM. But HawK's in no upkeep, so he's getting a lot more resources right now than Romantic is. So Romantic is trying to counteract against that by harassing the economy. Double Watch Elemental. It's a lot of water damage. Triple ring for the MK. Pretty good. Ring of Regen though, honestly, in the late game. Don't get me wrong, I love Rings of Regen. It's like one of my favorite items in the game, but late game it's pretty bad.
A player's forces are under attack.
Should we buff Ring of Regen? Like, what could we give to Ring of Regen that it's not stronger in the early game, but a little bit stronger in the late game? Because if you increase to 3 hit points or 4 hit points, that's way too good in the early game, I think. Like 10% spell resistance, maybe? Ah, but that's weird. No items give that. That opens up a whole can of worms. HawK's gonna have to TP out of this. He wants to pick up the item before he does. Oh, he doesn't want to fight this, as it seems. But HawK is down. More than 10 supply. He should be able to realize this, especially the priest numbers are way inferior. And HawK is gonna say sayonara, bye-bye. Have you ever tasted Dunkerton's cider? Nope, I have not. Oh, 1 heal per second per hero level. Oh, that's a great idea. Holy shit, Mochan. That is a great idea. Make a Reddit post right now. Make a Reddit post right now, bro. That's a great idea. That is way too much? Not really. In the early game, it's only going to be 2 HP max per second, maybe 3 HP, but it's rare to have level 3 heroes in the real early game. And on level 5 heroes, let's say on level 5 heroes, it's going to be 5 HP per second. On level 5 heroes, you usually want to stack things like damage reduction, mana, stuff like that. HP regen isn't really that useful. It's going to be decent, it's going to be better, but it's not that good. I think that's a great idea, actually. Oh, lag? Okay, sorry. So anyways, Breaker Wars, eh? HawK somehow did get up to 60 supply, so we're very even now. Oh, level 5 MK. Whoa! That's a quick one. That almost one-shots the priest. Stormbolt plus 1 right click from the AM is enough. Or a breaker or something. HawK is not lining it up too well. Priest numbers are still quite a bit higher here for Romantic. MK... Oh, has been level 5 for quite a while actually for Romantic. HawK now trailing a little bit on supply. Some breakers are way too far forward here. HawK is trying to dive deep to get those kills. Oh, AM trouble. Might be forced into one of his items here. Invul or TP to stay alive. No, he's fine. MK for HawK though. He's in trouble. Real trouble. Holding on to the Invul still. Whew. AM Fireball almost killed him right there. Once again, supply lead now for Romantic. And when you have the lead in the Breaker Wars, you can chase and snipe down those priests super easy. Oh, MK in deep trouble, dude. If he eats the Stormbolt, he could die. There's still the Mana Stone available, right? Yes, there is. Militia are here trying to help out a little. Priest mana for the spell is pretty low on both sides. Someone once again to control the MK here. HawK did go for a mana pot. But priests are very well protected in the back as it seems. By the way, upgrades. What are the upgrades? 2-1 for Romantic. No, 2-2 I mean against HawK's 2-1. Oh, but everything is so low here for HawK. He needs a heal scroll, but of course he can't get one now. There's no heal scroll either on Romantic side. Mana Stone used, seeing the AM out of position, has to go for a heal pot, but doesn't have the money! And the AM dies! Finally, HawK exposes his first hero there, and Romantic instantly pounces, gets the kill and the game. 1-0 for Romantic. I'm serious, by the way, dude. This HP regen per level is a great freaking idea. I love that. I wonder how hard that would be to implement. Like, you know, from a coding side. Should be doable, maybe. .5 or 0.75 healing per level. That's way too weak. Guys, this is a level 3 permanent item. This is... It's not a big camp, but it's a medium camp. So if you find it on level 1 with 0.5, then it's a quarter as good as it is now. It's way too weak. 1% of max HP per second. I don't like those percentages so much. I think it's clearer to understand when it's just flat numbers. One HP per level up to a max of 5 HP per second. So you're saying we need to cap it so it's not too strong on level 6 heroes? It's not gonna matter on level 6 heroes, dude. Level 6 heroes. Alright. How often... Like, I would love to have stats on this. How often do we have level 6 heroes on average in pro games? Now we can just guess here. We don't have actually any stats to back this up. But I would guess level 6 in a pro game on average. It's pretty tough. Between 2 and 5% of cases, right? 10%? It's definitely not 10%. It's definitely not 15%. What are you guys talking about? 10%, quote me later. You guys are thinking about too many Warden games. Like, if a Warden is in a game, that increases the chance. Alright, you know what? No, never mind. I was about to say, let's forget about the Outlier Warden, but no. We can even leave the Outlier Warden in the game. If a Warden is in the game, that increases the chance of level 6 heroes by at least 50%. But if we don't see Warden, we basically never see level 6. Guys, come on. And Warden is obviously only possible in Night Elf games. And even in Night Elf games, Warden is rare. So... Ultimates are very, very rare, you guys. In Dota, we have it every game. Oh, really, bro? Thank you very much for that contribution. That is something that I talked to Blizzard about. That I felt ultimates were too rare in the game, honestly. Because ultimates really have a big impact on a hero, and they define the fantasy and... kind of the identity of a hero. But introducing a different leveling algorithm with faster ultimates would really, really, really impact balance heavily. Let's say level 6 was only a little bit harder than level 5 is right now. I think that would be a good formula for Warcraft games to see ultimates more often, because ultimates are a lot of fun and really exciting. But of course, in that case, many ultimates would have to be a lot weaker. Because if you could get ultimates in the same way that you can get level 5.3 right now, yeah, that would break a lot of things in its current state. Map 2, my friends. I'm not gonna forget about the overlay here this time. Romantic with the lead. 1-0. Spawning in the top right of Concealed Hill. HawK. Bottom left. How would you like to see the new DK Ultimate? Good question. Normally, I'm not a very creative guy. I'm more like better at finding flaws in current designs than finding new ways. Basically, I'm not very creative. Alright, I'm more about optimizing. So I'm probably not the best person to ask about this. Simple way for DK Ult to work would be you just have a set number of, you know, corpses being revived. So you don't need corpses, basically. You just spawn, for example, 2 A-bombs, 2 fiends, and I don't know, 2 ghouls maybe. Something like that. But that's pretty boring, you know. I'm sure there's a better way. I haven't thought about it, really, to be honest with you. But yeah, DK ult is certainly really trash. I really dislike any ultimate that is channeling, because it has so many easy counterplays for some races. Orc especially with Hex and Ensnare. Also human with Stormbolt. What about aura of chaos damage? No. Ultimates cannot be auras. Ultimates have to be awesome spells that are really cool and also should be very strong.
A player's forces are under attack.
Similar creep route here. By the 2, we have less militia usage this time around, so it should be a faster tech. Specialty on Conceal is we don't have Merc camps. That means no Shadow Priest specifically for the early game. Makes it hard to deal with water elementals. Arcane Towers coming up at exactly the same time. Basically. AM's ultimate is one of the best in the game. It is very strong, it's really cool, and it changes the way you can play the game. It is in my opinion, one of the best designed ultimates in the whole game. It is certainly pretty damn broken, but so are many ultimates. And there are ways to play around it. It is, especially in Mirror, a massive, massive advantage though if you get the ultimate first. But it changes the way you have to think about the game, which is exactly like what you want about an ultimate. It's a game changer. That's literally what you want it to be. So yeah, AM ultimate is amazing. Big shout out or kudos to whoever designed that at Blizzard. Whoever that may have been. So once again we have a little game of chicken going on. Both players harassing into the main, but Romantic seems to be more than ready this time around. Call to arms being used once again. What's the tech timing, by the way? Romantic is a little bit faster over here. And seems to be finding more peasant kills as well. Over here we only have 2 peasant kills so far. Romantic doesn't, HawK doesn't want to dive in again as it seems. Now he does. But call to arms, the militia are holding their own against the footies on both sides for the most part. Supply-wise, we're very even. Lumber, what's the lumber looking like? Also pretty even. So it's kind of an even Steven early game. Oh, HawK, you cannot lose this altar though. Repair is coming in late. Really late! Oh, HawK, that's a big mistake. 2 peasant repair is not enough. Oh boy, that's gonna hurt. Yikes! Double yikes, triple yikes. Alright, he's setting up the altar again. Maybe it's not going to be that big of a delay. Oh, that was level 3 for the AM as well. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. HawK is trying to emulate by finding the same kill here on the altar. That makes me think. Do you perhaps want to position the Arcane Tower in range of the altar? Maybe Arcane Tower positioned right here would be better. slash right here. But of course, the further up the Arcane Tower is, the more easily it can get cancelled, so it's not like that's the only consideration. But guess what? HawK finds the kill as well. Which really surprises me, because there was still many peasants ready to defend. Oh, but guess what? Romantic got the Tavern Hero before the altar fell, just a moment before. It's the Panda now, saying hello. And he's got Breath of Fire. Pretty good against buildings. And footies and peasants. The perfect hero for this point in time, as it seems. Very expensive hold for Romantic once again, but one more time, the Militia are doing it. Footies fighting against each other at the fountain. Uh-oh, HawK! He's not looking at the footies right now! Oh, shit, that hurts. Oh no, 2 more are running into the fray. No! Friends! No! You have so much to live for! Oh, shit. That is quadruple yikes, this game. Oh, man. I don't know what he's supposed to do now, really. Wow. That MK is gonna have a lot of work to do. Great game by Romantic, man. Great presence of mind, multitasking, applying the right amount of pressure at seemingly all times. Double Sanctum coming up. Somehow HawK has the resources for Double Sanctum, actually. You know what? If HawK, like, if he can just cruise through the next 5 minutes, and we're just gonna go to Breaker Wars again, HawK can actually come back into this game. As crazy as that is. So I think it should be up to Romantic to keep on playing aggressively right now, right? He must know that he's got way superior footy numbers, which at the early stages of Tier 2 are still a big deal. Water Elemental block. Okay, that didn't quite work. Sometimes the Ogre Lord here is weird. Like, sometimes he turns back at this spot right here. Sometimes he goes all the way here. Yeah, pretty weird that he didn't try to close it with the footies, though. Little pro tip for you guys from Mr. Remo Demo. If you want to pull out the Ogre Lord over here, you need to kill the sheep that's standing somewhere here normally. Because sometimes he gets blocked, and then he returns sooner. Creeping now, of course, is way easier for Romantic. Scroll the beast. Most likely gonna be sold. But the MK, of course, is the stronger late game hero, as we know. So HawK needs to think all about surviving right now, I guess. Alright, let's see. Maybe this time it works better. Ogre Lord, did he get blocked? I don't think so. Alright, one more time. It's not gonna work. Oh, okay, he gets this around. Oh, no! Ah! Hoop! Hey! Hum! Get him! There we go. Romantic is playing this mid-game really passively, though. Shouldn't he be looking for more aggressive plays? Big man on the MK. Hello.
A player's forces are under attack.
All going for the surefire kills. Trying to get the footies. Oh, he's got a clap as well on the MK. And he could definitely get one more footy. Doesn't get away. And it's of course the big advantage of the MK here on Tier 2. It's way easier to look for the snipes, to look for the kills. Last hit. Goes to HawK as well. Secures it with a clap. It's more experience for him. Creepjacking at this camp is always a risk. You never know where the end snares are going to fly. One end snare's over here on HawK. That was a really good change, by the way. Do you remember, you guys? End snare duration was changed. On raiders and on the creeps. Used to be 12 seconds. Isn't that insane? Now it's 10. I think it's 10, right? It went from 12 to 10, if I remember right. Are you gonna cast Rust Brain Cup qualifier tomorrow? Yes, I will. Gonna be solo casting. I asked Starshaped if he wanted to join, but he declined. So everyone, notify Starshaped on Twitter or somewhere and tell him what a bad boy he is. No, I'm just kidding. He's got a date with a lady, so unfortunately he can't join tomorrow. And Neo is visiting family, so it's gonna be, yeah, just me. But I will be casting Rust Brain Cup 9 qualifier 1 tomorrow. Big supply once again for Romantic. What's the heroes looking like? Level 2 Panda, level 3 MK with the big mana. Wait, does he have Clap? He's got Clap level 2. Kind of makes sense against the footies, actually. Okay, that was a really bad Clap, though. I think he's playing this MK2 Afraid. There's no Stormbolt to fear this time. He can go all in pretty boldly. Oh, level 3 Panda, though. There's a heal scroll, by the way, on Romantic. And there it goes. So much health restored. MK's really grateful for that big mana. When's he gonna pop it? There we go. Boom! Oh my god, that Clap. Holy smokes. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna question the Clap choice here. It's looking pretty good. He's got one more. Boom! One more Clap and all these footies are about to die. HawK's holding on. He did burn through the big mana, but that was the big push here by Romantic with a 10 supply lead plus heal scroll. And he couldn't finish the game. And Romantic, I don't know. This game just seems a little bit complacent by him. He was waiting for so long. He gave the MK the time. I think this was just a little too passive by our Chinese human. It's not over yet, of course. But the longer this goes, the worse it becomes for the Panda normally. Creeping this camp is so easy with breakers. You're just stealing all the buffs. Does cost mana though. Big item here, hoping for the devotion. Quel'Thala's boots. That is literally the worst one. Oh, HawK. Pretty fortunate with his items here. Earlier with the big mana, now with the flute. Also very good in Breaker Wars. Do we have upgrades? We do for Romantic. Second attack upgrade already on the way. HawK is finally going for a blacksmith as well. Finally feeling that he has the space. But Romantic is pushing again with a 10 supply lead once more. Oh, these farms looking pretty exposed, man. Looking pretty juicy. First one gonna fall right away. That's gonna supply block HawK already. He gets one more big item. That is the crystal ball. This one actually doesn't do much for him. Oh, Breath of Fire connects nicely with all the priests stacked up after the TP. But the Clap also hitting pretty well. One more kill means MK level 4. And that is the level 2 Stormbolt now available. That is a big deal as well. Panda got one more breath. Gonna say sayonara to the priest with that one. But they can just heal themselves up. And there we go. Stormbolt over Breath Strength. Easy to find these kills. Especially with the footmen, which are always so exposed in the front line. Clap finds the slowdown as well. And the heal scroll in the retreat. That is not the most ideal way to use it. But if you can save your units that way, perhaps it's the proper way. Some militia coming in. 3 from the main, but they turn into peasants here. They lose their armor and weaponry upon arrival. And HawK still sitting at 50. Not breaking a sweat. I think he should, though. And it's a 2-1 upgrade advantage on these breakers, by the way. HawK, you need to go upkeep, my friend. Oh, level 5 on the AM as well. This is not over yet for Romantic. The longer this game goes, the worse it is for Romantic. Yes, but at the moment he still has to have quite some advantages. And Romantic's under pressure now. He may have the higher supply, but he's in Zugzwang, basically. He has to get something done. He can't play passively anymore. Level 5 on HawK as well, by the way, but his water elementals are getting killed off pretty quickly. Romantic with a level 3 aura here? Yes. Man, and this Breath of Fire is starting to stack up. Pretty even in supply right now, but look at the health. Everything is pretty bruised for HawK once again. He's yearning for that heal scroll. Maybe the MK could do a drive-by to the shop. There's no Stormbolt here to control him. But everything's healthy. Nothing is damaged for Romantic. How is this even possible? Priests doing a great job, I guess. And there comes the Water Elemental Steel as well. Oh, control magic over and over. Especially valuable, of course, to steal the level 3 Water Elementals. Oh, and he does it again! Again. HawK in trouble. HawK in deep trouble now. AM once again dropping very low. The Peasant block coming in against the first hero. May trigger the TP. Ooh, he's so low. Weird position now. Separated from the army. AM again steps forward and HawK sees no chance anymore. GG. Looked like he's stabilized, but not quite good enough. Romantic had one more deadly push in him with the supplier lead and the breaker upgrade lead. Well done by Romantic.